I'm Chris White, sports director at the Courier-Journal, here with Kentucky High School sports writer Jason Frakes. Jason, I hope you had a good summer break because it is football season. It is time to get the sports in gear here. Let's talk about jump right into this week's game of the week. It's Central at Manual, two really strong teams meeting right off the bat here. Tell us a little bit about this matchup.
Yeah, it should be a fun one. These two have kind of recently, they opened the season against each other just about every year. They've played the last 8 years. Manual's won 7 out of the last 8 meetings. Central won back in 2012. But both of these teams ranked in the top 10 of their respective classes coming into the year. Manual's number 4 in Class 6A, Central number 3 in Class 3A. A really good matchup. I think Manual, just over the years, given that their size, their strength in numbers over Central, I think they're a little bit of a favorite in this game. And I'm taking Manual to win 27-21.
Okay, another big game in town this week is Ensworth out of Nashville is at Trinity. Now, these two teams have some recent history, and obviously both are sort of powerhouses in their respective states. Tell us a little bit about this matchup and what it's going to mean.
Yeah, these two teams have met in the season opener the last 2 years, and Ensworth has actually beaten Trinity in both of those matchups. I don't know that anyone in the state or outside of the state has beaten Bob Beatty at Trinity 3 straight years. So Trinity coming off that 6A state championship last year. They're going to be breaking in a new quarterback in Jacob Woosley, who played wide receiver last year. So it's going to be interesting to see how he handles that first start at quarterback. Ensworth, they had won 4 straight state championships until last year. They lost in the state final of their division in Tennessee. I think this will be another close matchup, but I think Trinity finally overcomes the Ensworth hump, and I took Trinity by a score of 24-17.
Okay. Another interesting matchup, DeSales at Fairdale. Now, obviously, DeSales coming off was it second straight state championship, looking for a third here, and Fairdale has a lot of returners, so they're looking to make some noise this year. Tell us a little bit about that one.
Yeah, a couple of South End schools, and these schools haven't met since 2008, so kind of renewing that matchup down there. And like you said, DeSales coming off 2 straight Class 2A state championships. They have their quarterback back in Austin Johnson, who is obviously headed to U of L as a punter, but a really good quarterback there. He's a running and a passing threat. Fairdale has 15 starters back. They had a really good season last year, 7-6, getting to a regional final. I'm not sure they're to the point yet of being able to beat a DeSales. I think this will be a decent matchup, but I'm taking DeSales by a score of 28-7.
Okay, and finally we've got Seneca at Fern Creek. Now, this is kind of two different stories for these two different teams. One team's lost a lot of their playmakers, and one's bringing a lot of them back. Tell us about this one. Yeah,
these two teams actually met twice last year. They met in the first round of the playoffs with Fern Creek winning 16-13. Fern Creek, like you said, they have a bunch of starters back. They're dropping from Class 6A to Class 5A. They're picked to win their district this year, so they have a huge playmaker there by the name of Lamarius Kinslow, a really good wide receiver, a really good linebacker. He's committed to Western Kentucky. Seneca has a new coach. They lost a lot of their big-time players, their quarterback, their number 1 running back from last year. Ted Leeser, a veteran of coaching around these parts, has taken over that program. Might take him a year or two to kind of get the Red Hawks going, so I'm going to take Fern Creek by a score of 28-13.
All right, thanks, Jason. Again, I'm Chris White, sports director at the Courier-Journal. This is Jason Frakes, our high school sports writer. You can follow him at KY Highs on Twitter. And be sure to visit us online for all your high school football coverage, especially live on Friday nights, lots of updates and stats. So visit us at courierjournal.com/KHS.